means it's officially fall, so naturally, high school football is in full swing. Chris joins us with the highlights.
Goodness gracious, you're right, Aaron. Another week, another rivalry for our game of the week. The first meeting between Sumner and Puyallup, it took place back in 1920. So I think that qualifies as a rivalry. 102 years. Yeah, both teams need to win tonight to keep their conference hopes alive. Puyallup's calling card, they like to air it out. There it goes. Jay Mentink, though, comes up with the interception. That's the first setup touchdown for the Spartans on the next possession. Caden Bodine with the fake and the roll. He wasn't touched till he got in the end zone. Sumner was up by 10 at that point. Puyallup came back, took a lead on a field goal. Nice fake and pitch to Dylan Height for the touchdown. But from there, all Sumner. Diego Colley to Dylan Coffey on the slant. And he goes the distance with the yellow shoes. Sumner wins it. Puyallup, they beat Puyallup in back-to-back years, dominating this one 40-10.
We played just how we knew we were going to play. Before the game, we just locked in, no mistakes. We knew we weren't going to make any mental mistakes that game, and we came together and executed.
We like to call ourselves the hardest team in the state. We play hard, we practice hard, we train hard, we lift hard, and that we got back to that this week. And these last 3 weeks haven't been great. We haven't been playing as well as we should have, and it's just amazing to finally switch it around against Puyallup and get this win. And we're going to keep this rolling through the rest of the season.
Yeah, good bounce back for Sumner. All right, time for you to get involved. Your vote on our Twitter poll at KIRO 7 Seattle. Next week's Game of the Week choices: Lakes against Silas, O'Dea against Eastside Catholic, or Stanwood Arlington. We'll have results later in the show. And we're back after this quick timeout. We're back on the KIRO 7 High School Football Report, brought to you by Zoom Care. The Lincoln Abes have been the kings of Tacoma, or I guess the presidents of Tacoma, for most of the last decade. Mount Tahoma trying to put a dent in that mystique tonight. Last week's Player of the Week, though, Gabari Johnson, showing that dual threat ability. Yeah, he just bounces off one guy. 56 yards later, he's in the end zone. T-Birds, though, they came back with some offense of their own. Derek McKinney with the roll, with the roll. And then Angel Urban is going to outleap a defender for the score. Mount Tahoma led, but Johnson, he put that, he shut down that upset alert pretty quickly. Another keeper, great effort by the T-Birds, but Lincoln survives 35-21. Also in 3A tonight, O'Dea continues to roll. Do they ever? And Garfield as well, as they take care of Blanchette. Meanwhile, one of the best teams in 3A happens to call Yelm home. Tonight they were actually not in Yelm, but River Ridge. And the Tornadoes, plenty of scoring on the road. Braden Platt opened things with a 14-yard run. Special teams in on the action as well. Mason Embry blocking the punt, recovering it inside the Hawks' 10-yard line, which set up Kyla Ronquillo, who took the toss for the easy score. How about 65 points? A basketball score for Yelm anyway. I smell an undefeated season for Yelm coming. Now, a couple of 4A scores. Lake Stevens, they did not have a fun trip to Portland. That hurts the #1 team in the state. And in Kinko, Skyline beats Mount Si on the road in a close one. And we'll stay in 4A. Federal Way's only loss was to Lake Stevens this year so far. Kent Ridge, on the other hand, still unbeaten heading into tonight's matchup. This one started slowly. Jay O'Neill, though, hit Dre Jordan with a 65-yarder, picking things up. The Eagles had the lead. Chargers answered. Dorian Thomas to Kendrick Turner. Fingertip catch. Beautiful job there. Kentridge took the lead right back. Anything you can do, I can do better, right? O'Neill calls his own number. 47 yards. Eagles eventually pulled away 42-7, the final. And in the early game at the Lincoln Bowl, Foss hoping to pull another upset, this time against Evergreen. They did everything they could to slow down Evergreen's attack. Deshaun Hughes pouncing on the fumble, but the Plainsmen, they weren't bothered too much by that. The short passing attack always working for those guys. Jason Scott plays it to the right, and he goes the distance. A tough one for the Falcons as Evergreen played defense as well, and they get the win. In 2A, Cedro Woolley gives Linden a scare, 24-21. Tumwater gets another win on the road over Centralia. And we will be right back.
KIRO 7 High School Football Report, brought to you by Zoom Care.
Welcome back. Couple more games for you. Wesco 3A, Edmonds Woodway at Snohomish. Warriors hanging in this one. Stephen Warren airing it out for Jesse Hart. so Ed Wood trailed by just 3. The Panthers did their best to keep him at arm's length. They go Wildcat, and that's just fine for Mason Orgel, who got some great blocking for the score. And then Cale Hammer, nice pump fake, nicer throw. Parker Jackson comes down with it. Snohomish, 43 points as they beat Edmonds Woodway. In 2A last night, Enumclaw and Fife back and forth, and Fife pulling a few tricks out of the playbook. How about this to get them back in the game after the Hornets opened the scoring? The fake reverse on the kickoff. Justin Munoz goes 99 yards. That is the way you answer. Both teams do like to run the football. Enumclaw just a little bit better this time out. Emmett Otero with the second of his 3 touchdowns last night. And the Hornets got a big road win, 27-21. All right, the votes are tabulated. Next week's Game of the Week, not a surprise. It's a 3A showdown we often see twice a year. O'Day and Eastside Catholic should be fun. Thanks for voting, everybody, and thank you for watching tonight. You can check out our website, KIRO7.com, for more scores and highlights. We will see you tomorrow for some college football from Husky Stadium.